aspirants, I once again welcome you all to editorial analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 29th of January 2025. Now displayed here are the list of articles that we are going to discuss today. In this first article, we'll be discussing in detail about the ASER report that has been released very recently. And in the second article, we'll be discussing about tungsten mining and the impacts of it and how it can be rectified. So we'll be discussing both the topics from the mains perspective. So without any delay, let us look into the first news article discussion. Now before ending our video, I have an important announcement for you. It is regarding our UPSC mock interview 2024. It has already started 2 days back, and if you have not registered for this particular mock interview, you can register even today and get yourself tested before appearing in front of the final interview panel. Now look at this article from the Indian Express newspaper. This article talks about the annual status of education report, in short called as ASER. So this article entirely talks about the findings of the report from the prelims as well as mains perspective. Learning about these findings is very important. So let us see them one by one in this article discussion. Before that, I have a mains question for you. In light of the ASER 2024 report, assess the impact of the National Education Policy NEP 2020 on foundational literacy and numeracy. What further steps are needed to strengthen India's school education system? So it is a 15-marker question for 250 words. You can write an answer and post it in the comment section so that we can review your answer as well as your peer also can review it. So let's start with the background of this ASER. See, this annual status of education report is released by Pradham since 2005. It is actually a non-governmental organization, NGO. So it evaluates the schooling, reading and arithmetic from class 1 to 8, and it provides a holistic report on the foundational learning. Currently, it is seen as a tool for assessing the NEP 2020 policy implementation as well. So moving on, we shall see about the findings of the report. The first important thing is it highlighted the impact of COVID-19 on education sector. So a lot of school closure was happening, and lot of online platforms has been booming. So this has actually impacted the education in the rural areas a lot. So this is the first important thing highlighted by the ASER report. So the ASER report of 2022, it has highlighted a sharp decline in learning outcomes. So this is due to the COVID-19. Moving on, we shall see about the key findings of ASER 2024. See, we have currently seeing a lot of recovery in terms of learning outcomes. We have actually recovered fully from the post-pandemic. For example, class 3 reading has been raised from 20.5% in 2022 to 27.1% in 2024. Then the class 5 reading, it has also increased from 42% to 48.8%. Moving on, the arithmetic skills have actually improved. Here you can see the numbers. And when we talk about the role of government schools, both the government school as well as the private school, they have been performing well in the recent days. For example, the class 3 subtraction, it has improved from 20.2% to 27.6%. This is especially in the government schools, which is a very positive improvement. When we talk about the state specific trend, we have Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, UP, they have showing a major improvement when it comes to the foundational literacy and numeracy. Now moving on, we shall see about the factors that has contributed for this particular recovery. See, the NEP program 2020 policy that has been implemented, and the Nipun Bharat. See, this particular Nipun Bharat scheme is a flagship scheme of Ministry of Education. So this particular scheme has 3 important components. Firstly, curriculum, secondly, training, and thirdly, monitoring. So the curriculum itself will be built in the basis of the children's ability, and it will be built based on how easily it can be taught to the children. So the second important thing is the curriculum is designed, the curriculum will be taught to the teachers. So teachers will be trained, and capacity building will be done, and then monitoring will be happening. This monitoring will assess the proper implementation of the particular curriculum. So this Nipun Bharat scheme has led to enormous recovery of foundational literacy as well as numeracy. And when we talk about the government schools enrollment, it has also increased after the COVID-19 impact, and a lot of shift has been done from private schools after the post pandemic. Apart from this, we have a lot of learning programs. For example, we have Diksha, which is an online platform, and we have catch-ups and remedial teaching programs as well. Apart from this, we have community engagement. For example, the local and parent support in education has been improved a lot, and this has indirectly contributed to the recovery of this particular foundational literacy and numeracy FLL. Moving on, we shall see about the challenges that has been highlighted by the ASER report. See, the first challenge highlighted is the urban-rural divide. So there is a lot of infrastructural gap, there is a lot of resource gap, resource in the sense trained faculties. So this resource constraint has declined the learning outcomes of the children. So this is the first important thing. Secondly, teachers shortage. There is a lot of vacancy, but there is no proper training as well as no proper recruitment. Now, thirdly, there is the environment in which the persons will be learning. It is like overcrowded, and outdated methods are being used, and we have a regional disparity. For example, Bihar, UP and MP, they lag behind Kerala and Himachal Pradesh. And moving on, we have socio-economic challenge as well. For example, child labor, they are suffering from poor nutrition. This is impacting their attendance in their school, which is ultimately impacting their learning outcome. Then there is gender inequality. There is a lot of high dropout rates. Even child marriage happens in nook and corner of India, and there are early marriage and lack of facilities. And apart from this, there is no proper parental awareness. Especially low focus has been given on education in the rural house. Then we have a digital divide, which is a very important thing that we have to remember. So this digital divide has limited the devices and internet access in the rural area, and we have a accountability issue as well. So there is no proper monitoring system in the government schools. We have to bring in a particular framework. It should be very strictly implemented. And we have linguistic barriers as well. That a lot of non-mother tongue instructions actually affect the learning of the children. So these are all certain challenges that has been highlighted by ASER report. So far we saw about the ASER report, we saw about the positives that has been highlighted in the ASER report, then we saw about certain challenges. So with these learned points, now let us move on to the next news article discussion. Look at this article. This article talks about recent annulling of a particular project by the union government. Here the article is talking about the Naikarpatti Tungsten block auction in Madurai. This action has been done by the union government because of the widespread protest in the particular region. So from the mains perspective, we have to understand three important things. Firstly, why the project was annulled. Secondly, you have to understand the importance of tungsten. Thirdly, you have to understand what will be the alternative for this particular project. So let us understand them from the mains perspective in this news article discussion. So let's start with what is this Naikarpatti tungsten mine issue is about. See, here in this particular map, you can see the red color boundary. This red color boundary is the actual mining site of this tungsten in the particular region, Naikarpatti. So in this particular red color line, you can see an yellow color boundary, right? This yellow color boundary is nothing but the Arithapattu village boundary. So this Arithapattu village boundary is Tamil Nadu's first biodiversity spot. So here you can see the Arithapatti biodiversity heritage site, and along with that, here you can see certain important historical places that has been mentioned here. All places are very, very important. It can be asked, even if tungsten is not asked in preliminary questions, these kinds of places might be asked in preliminary questions, so make note of them. So a lot of inscriptions, Tamil Brahmi script inscriptions are there. Along with that, there is a Jain temple is also there, which is also renowned for biodiversity, where a large number of species is present. So here comes the triggering point. So what we have to compromise? We have to compromise the development, or we have to compromise the biodiversity. So in this particular case, the union government, they have chosen to annul the particular project in order to conserve this particular important biodiversity in the region. So this is what the dispute is about. Now we have to see about the tungsten. Before that, I have a mains question for you. Let me read out the question. Discuss the challenges and opportunities in India's mining sector. How can India ensure sustainable mining practices while meeting its resource needs? So it is a 50-marker question for 250 words. You can write an answer and post it in the comment section so that we will be reviewing your answer. So you can also get your peer review, and for that also you can post it in the comment section. So let's see what is mining and why tungsten is a very important mineral. So mining is nothing but extraction of the material from the earth. So it can be any kind of valuable mineral like the metal, coal, diamond, oil, or natural gases. So among these mining materials, valuable materials, there are certain critical minerals. See, these critical minerals, they vary based on the particular country. So these critical minerals will be in our country. We are notifying it under Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act. So tungsten is also a critical mineral. When we call a critical mineral is when a particular material is in shortage, it will impact the supply chain. So those kinds of minerals, they will be categorized as the critical minerals. So this is the first important thing. Secondly, it is essential for the economical development as well as national security. So this is why tungsten is a critical mineral and also a very important mineral. Now we shall see about the properties of tungsten. See, first important thing is it has the highest melting point, meaning you can use it in a lot of ways. For example, the electronics, the you can even use it in building aeroplanes. You can use it in building any kind of electronic machineries. So those kinds of things you can build with it because of its property, which is high melting point. So it is ideal for high temperature applications. Now the second important thing is it has very high density as well as hardness. So it can be durable. So it is like a one-time investment. So if you can invest for one time, you can use it for a longer period of time. And thirdly, we have higher electrical conductivity, so it can be used in electrical appliances as well. Moving on, we shall see about some of other applications of tungsten. As I said, you can use it in aerospace and even in defense. In electronics, you can use as a filament, you can use it as an electrode. Then in automotive, you can use it as high performance engine components. Then in medicine, this is very important thing. It is used as a shield for X-ray equipments. So it hinders the radiation from impacting the humans. Now in manufacturing also, it helps in this carbide cutting tools for any kind of hard metals. So these are certain applications of tungsten and why it is very important to be mined. Now moving on, we shall see about the regulatory framework in India when it comes to minerals. So as I said, mining, it is actually controlled under Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, and we have National Mineral Policy, in short called as NMP 2019. This also defines mining strategies. Now we shall talk about the challenges in mining and how it can be rectified. So the first important challenge is geopolitical or the supply chain risk. See, when it comes to mining, it is actually unstable. So it raises a lot of trade conflict. Secondly, it leads to a lot of economic disruption, as we saw. You can quote this example in your mains answer as a case study itself. And the third important thing is technological and infrastructure barriers. Now, the third important challenge when it comes to mining is in rural areas, extraction is very difficult. So, for their infrastructure should be developed, which is a very big challenge. And we have market volatility as well as high extraction cost. For example, the price fluctuation can impact the mining process itself. Now, we shall see about the suggestion for improvement, what can be done as an alternative for mining. See, firstly, we can diversify the sources. So, instead of concentrating on a particular area which very highly rich in the biodiversity, we can concentrate on other resources as well, and we can search for alternatives. For that, we have to invest a lot in research and development. Now, the second important thing is we have to focus on sustainable mining. For example, we can focus on the green technology, for example, hydraulic fracturing. So those kinds of technology can be used, which will be reducing the carbon emission as well as promoting the economic benefits out of it. And the third important thing is we have to focus on the government initiative. So a lot of investment should be made in under explored area. So this will help us to diversify the sources. So the fourth important thing is we have to bring in a lot of technological innovation, so that it will be easier to identify the source and then extracting it and then using it in the right purpose. And we have to seek a lot of international collaboration. We can use the bilateral forums to seek for help when it comes to innovation and technology development as well. So this will even secure the supply chains. So these are all certain suggestions that can be made in order to make mining more greener. So far we saw about the particular issue, tungsten mining. Then we saw about what is the importance of tungsten, its characteristics and applications. Then we saw about mining, what are the challenges and how it can be improved. Conclude the discussion. If you like the video, hit like, do comment, and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Now, thank you so much for listening.